to Divine Connection.
Good evening, ladies. Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Divine Connections. I am your host, Katrina Deal-McCall.
I'm your host, Adrienne Love.
And I am also your host, the elf today, Sherilyn Eppinger.
Awesome. I also want to extend a well holiday greeting to our listeners on WJWW. Now, Sherilyn, can you please introduce our special guest today?
I want to let you all know, if you're listening on the radio, you can't see it, but this show today is nothing but brown sugar, okay? It's like shea butter, cocoa butter. It's like, sisters, how you doing? Let your hair down. I'm in good company because I am here with my sister friend, Miss Kodi Pride, and with our new friend, which is her best friend, Miss Summer Haggins, and we are so happy to have you two ladies here with us today.
Yes, and if I can just have Miss Kodi start us off with the show. Miss Kodi, tell us just a little about you, what you do, who you are, but do not give us too much information because we want to ask some questions.
Okay, so I would just say that I am a daughter of the King. I am unapologetically free. I am a person in process. I have not yet arrived. So in this season, I'm very peaceful. I have joy, and I have my best friend on this call who's been around through many seasons in process. I'm a mother, a wife, a healthcare professional. To list it all would be just a resume, but to sum it all up, I'm just blessed to be alive.
Yes, amen. Love it. Miss Summer with the beautiful smile and the hair. Let's go, baby. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. And thank you guys again for having me on. I'm honored. So I'm a registered nurse. I'm also a life coach. So I believe in not just the physical fitness piece, but also the mental and spiritual wellness as well. So I focus on all three, being healthy in all three areas. And I am a prayer warrior. I'm a friend, a best friend, a daughter. I have many titles. I want to echo what my best friend just said, but I'm also still in process, and thank God for his grace and mercy every day.
Yes, hallelujah.
Man. Now, since we are highlighting the fact of best friends and friendships, and you have been best friends for quite a while. I know you're separated now, you're in two different states, but can you just think back to just the best memory that you shared together with one another?
Oh boy, that
go first. Either one can go.
Look, Katrina, that's a loaded question. Me and Kodi were talking before, and we said, well, we don't know what she's gonna ask. We don't know what this is really about. We knew it was about divine connection, so we didn't even have a chance to kind of get our answers together.
That's the best way to do it.
That's the best part. That's the best part.
Authentic truth.
Yes. We have so many. We're gonna keep it PG because we go back to the days before both of us were saved. So but I have to say
that's for the after show. That's for the after show.
Right. We ain't gonna talk about our BC days right now. But what I will say is this: one of my favorite memories is back in high school. I'll just keep it real short. Me and Kodi had tried out for a cheerleading team, okay? And we were so hyped up. We were so pumped up. Now, you were supposed to do like a skit. Well, not like a skit, but like a cheer and show the squad because they were the ones that were going to pick you. So after we had did our skit, now mind y'all, we really didn't put much into it. I don't know if y'all remember that song, I Got 5 on It.
Yes.
Okay. We did a little pop in circumstance to that. And then we just kind of got it. We was like, yeah. But see, we were so cool with the seniors because at that time, I think we were freshmen or sophomores, Kodi, I can't remember. But I think we were sophomores. But we were so cool with the seniors. We were like, we know we gonna get in. So we went into this room, make a long story short, they're like, okay, if we don't call your name, that means you did not make the cheer team. Okay. So Kodi's like, I can't listen. I'm gonna close my ears. Just listen. I said, okay, I know we got it. Well, what do y'all know? And they said, and once, if we do not call your name at the end, we just ask that you step out, that you leave out of the room because we've made our choice. What do y'all know about they called everybody else's name but Kodi's and mine?
What?
When they were done, Kodi looked at me. She was like, did we make it? I said, I couldn't even talk, y'all. I just shook my head. Mm-mm. And we had to take the walk of shame out of the classroom it was just ourselves. But that was, I think, that's one of my favorite memories that we have together.
That's
how you know y'all was bound to be together. We can go through the hard times together in the beginning.
That was my same memory. That was actually going to be my same memory because it was the memory of excitement, preparation, and failure all together. And it was so telling of how our friendship is, right?
Yes.
Because I really was like, okay, I can't hear it. So things I'm not prepared to hear and deal with, I'm like, you got it. And you know how to handle them. Which I looked up and I'm like, and she was like, I had to clutch my sternum. I said, what? And it was just such a long walk on out. But that was like, it was just so funny because it was something we went into together.
Mm-hmm.
We did together.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't work together, But it was definitely for as young girls, it was a memory that I will always carry. Like, and then to fast forward, I remember, can I say one more?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
That's fine.
So I remember Summer and I were both in like I can't even explain what season we were in our lives. Marriage, my daughter, everything. And she came over to my house and we went on a walk. And it seemed like that walk. It reminded me of that walk. But here we are, not girls, we're women. But we still were walking together in times that felt like such defeat and pain. And she didn't have the answer. I didn't have the answer, nor could we change the circumstances for each other. But I just remembered that time she was walking by my side. And we just kept walking. And I think that's just what we gonna do. Just keep walking.
If I can ask a question, how long have y'all been friends?
Let's see.
Since 95, right? We met in high school.
Yeah, so yeah.
So what's
Go
that?
ahead, Sister Charlene. I'm sorry because I chimed in on you.
That's fine. Don't ask me the mental math. I got my calculator. Hold on.
Look,
No, that's 26 years because I turned 40 and we were 14 when we became friends.
Yes. Awesome.
And I have another question behind that. Two women, how do y'all stay so strong as two women being friends, understanding, continuously loving on each other regardless? How do you do it? Anybody can answer that one.
Hey, I think one of the ways we've been so strong is because we have been able to be vulnerable with each other. Kodi has seen me in so many different avenues in my life, from marriage to divorce, to being cheated on, to being lied to. And I'm not gonna act like I've always been perfect. I've even, done my own dirt.
Mm-hmm.
But through it all, I could always give her my real. I could always be real with her. And I feel that's one of the reasons why we have been able to maintain such a strong relationship, because she was never the girlfriend that I felt I had to fake like everything was okay.
Yeah.
Or I had to dress a certain way. Or if she saw me looking, my hair wasn't done, was she gonna talk about me? I never felt like that. It was always a genuineness I felt from our relationship over the years to where I felt like I could always be myself with her. And I think that's very important in any type of relationship, to be able to build up that foundation, to be able, I have to be able to give you my truth. And the truth ain't always cute. It's ugly a lot of times. And I have to know that you're still going to love me through that. And that's something that Kodi in these 26 years has always done with me.
That is amazing. That's amazing.
I like to say, like, you know, I had just mentioned to Summer a couple of days ago, you know, every good relationship is not a God relationship. And before we even knew to call it a God relationship, it was. And I echo the same sentiments, you know, like, I've been able to be just who I am, goofy, serious, and you name it. There's no mask, there's no nothing. But one thing that I can also say that has been a divine difference with our relationship and other relationships is that Summer doesn't have problems and issues with other women, and I don't either. So I noticed some women have had negative experience with other women and they argue, or they've been friends and not friends. Like, both of us have had decade-long friendships with other people. So I guess I never looked at our friendship with an expiration date. You know, it was kind of one of those things that we were like, let's just do life together, you know? And it was never something that I thought that something could come up where that wouldn't happen, you know? And so and because we have those relationships with other people, I know that it's not just our relationship. I know who that woman Summer is. There's some stuff that's not coming out of her because it's not in her. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, like, my question was, what do you all see that's lacking in friendships right now? I've also been blessed to have friendships that's 15, 20 years strong from college and high school. And I love the things that you said. And I had a conversation with one of my good friends, and I was saying, everything doesn't put our friendship on the chopping block. It's just that from childhood to now, we are women with children and husbands. We're going through a shift. Is there a time? So I think I have two questions. One, what do you all think is lacking when you see people try to have friendships? And then also, how do you all shift through the times where, you know, like Summer expressed, she was going through divorce, and Kodi, I do know that you know, lost a child. So when life is just happening personally, that it doesn't affect, or you give each other room to adjust for the adjustment, because you all are advancing individually as well as a unit.
I think what I believe was lacking in a lot of relationships is that we're meeting people's representative. And these masks that are on, they stay on too long. I think that when I met Summer, I met Summer. I mean, I didn't meet, you know, yes, we're all in a process, but I think that many times you feel like you have to have a certain look, a certain conversation, and then you're not even who you are. And so a person is responding to this facade that you put on. So I'm not saying that we don't all try to progress and try to, you know, better ourselves in different ways. But I think that when you strip down and say, listen, this is me, either I work for you or I don't, it's okay, because everybody that has met me didn't say, let's go to lunch. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, you know, and that's fine. But I had to realize that I don't have to be on your menu. You know what I mean? Like, that's fine, because it's not a, you know, this is not a Burger King, have it your way. This is what it is, you know? And I think that was some self, you know, acceptance on my end. Now, when it comes to when we both were having a difficult time, you know, Summer and I are very transparent. There were times I was like upset with the situation. And what both of us had to come to the table with is, I'm not mad at you. You don't have anything else to pour in me. We are both trying to survive. A person, just a quick thing, I can't give her a blood transfusion if I'm anemic. But it doesn't mean I don't want to. It's just that I can't. So when we were at such a depleted time, no, we didn't talk every time. Maybe she felt some type of way. I felt some type of way, but we were upset with the seasons in our life, not the person. Because what I knew is that if she had it, she would give it to me. So I think that I had to step outside my feelings and remember the fact is my friend would give it to me if she could. She don't have nothing else to pour. So I think that Summer and I, we weathered those storms, and I know that there's more to come, but we agreed that our friendship was not an option. And that was us growing up to say, we tripping. You tired and so am I. Go to sleep. She'll tell me, because I get to talking, she's like, you need to take a nap. I know when she needs to get something to eat. You know, we need to talk. She talking hunger, I'm talking sleep. So this ain't even a good conversation. I take a 15-minute nap. She get a snack. The Lord is back. You know what I'm saying?
You back on track. That's so good.
I love it. Oh my God, so much great information. And Summer, if you can just chime in on what Kodi was saying, that would be awesome.
Yeah. You know, and I echo what she said. I think another thing that unfortunately is missing in a lot of friendships is no one wants to really do the work. You know, any relationship is work. You know, you're gonna have to put in the work. You're gonna have to sacrifice. You're gonna have to compromise. You're gonna have to do things when you don't feel like doing them. You know, unconditional love, all those things. And unfortunately, I think especially in the, you know, in the age of where we are now, where everything you see on social media and everything is just so, you know, you see the smoke screen. And if my friendship doesn't look like what I see on social media, which ain't real all the way anyway, you know, because everybody has their stuff, nothing's perfect. If your best friend don't look like the best friend I see and what they're doing, then you know, maybe I'm questioning my friendship instead of, why don't you just put in the work and focus on that person that you know has been there for you and has been down for you, and stop comparing to something that's not even real anyway. So I think, you know, it's us being so quick to cut people off, unfortunately, and not really examining our own selves and say, what can I do better? One thing that I had to realize when me and Kodi have been through some rough seasons in our friendship. It was at a point when, like she referenced, her daughter was very sick before her daughter passed, and my marriage was on the brink of divorce. Neither one of us could really give, as she was referencing. So we were both in so much pain. So, but I think, because the second part to my to your question is communication is what kept us together. Because we decided, even in our pain, we took a break, but we came back to communicate. And that's another thing that's lacking in relationships. Unfortunately, people don't want to communicate. We just assume because this person did this and they did this, we fill in the blank. And we know that a lot of times when we fill in the blank, unfortunately, it's normally with negative filling in the blanks. And then we end up missing out and losing out on a great person, a great friend, but they're just in a bad time in their life. So, you know, I would say that communication and just really doing the work and focusing on that person, that friend, and really taking a look at yourself. Because I had to do that. I had to say, you know what, Kodi, I know I haven't been the best friend to you. There are things that I need to work on. And I think that's important in friendships, to be able to reflect, and knowing that since we are a work in process, you have to be able to apologize, and you have to be able to own your stuff. That's the thing. Yeah.
And, you know, to that, I would say that probably for me, up to these 26 years, was probably one of the darkest times in our friendship. And one thing that we were blessed with is we have another really, really good best friend. And, you know, having people around you that understand how important your relationship is important. Because when my daughter was life flighted to the hospital, I hadn't talked to Summer in a couple of weeks, which is like mind blowing. And our other best friend called her, and she came to the hospital. And
Take a moment, sis. Take a moment. Take
It's
a
all
moment.
right. It's all right. It's all
You
right.
have to have people in your circle
Yes.
that don't jump in your feelings always with you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So what I needed, our other friend was able to call, and Summer responded.
Mhm.
And I think that sometimes we hold on to such offenses that we make a moment, a whole relationship.
Yes.
You know what I
yes,
mean?
Yes.
And so I just think that it's important because people that are around us know how important our relationship is to each other. You know, like Summer's friends, they're my friends.
Yeah.
We might not be like this, never talk, but there's, like she said, that you make a decision if they're important to her, because I know her.
Yes.
There's an importance to me. How could I be rude? I might not love the person, you know, like I'm not going out to lunch when she ain't in Texas. There's a certain level.
Right. Keep it real.
Because sometimes I be like, Summer, girl, okay. But I go through them little seasons with her till she figure it out. But
Right.
Because sometimes you need that friend to see what you don't see.
Right, right.
But the God in me.
Yes.
Yeah. That part.
But God.
Just keeps
but
drinking
God.
my coffee, right? So I just think that that's the thing. It's like she said, it's a mutual respect, and it's a decision, and it's worth every compromise. It's worth the patience.
Yes.
It's all worth it.
Yes.
But ladies, I know that you all are great together. Like I said, I got to experience some of that too, because my good friends, I'm thinking about them now. So shout out Trudy and Bridget, you know, take nothing away from my other good friends, but Trudy, Bridget, Teresa, I love y'all. But so individually, you know, I want to talk to you, Summer, because I'm also a physical therapist. Personal trainer and group fitness, dance fitness. So I see that is something that is very important to you as far as their body, their mind, their spirit, and that's something that you tapped into. But I want you to just give a little bit something about how important is the body. A lot of people love to get their minds together. They love to work on their spirits, but it's like they get okay with their bodies not being the best. And I know by you being in the health field, that is something that we are trying to get people to understand. Like, you got to get your health in order for that full alignment. So can you give us some insight on what you push for that, or how you push for that?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, the word talks about the body. Our body is the Lord's temple, you know, and unfortunately, when we get busy doing everything else, our body is kind of whatever we have left over, we give that energy to taking care of our body. So I really try to work on changing that narrative, because they're all interconnected. So if you may be, you know, your mind may be right, okay, your spirit, like you said, may be in a good place, but if you are eating bad foods all the time, you're not drinking water, you're not exercising, I guarantee you still are not living to your fullest potential. So to me, it's all about maximizing the fullest potential that God has given you. So when you give your food the right, you know, I compare it to, you know, when you have a car, if you have a luxury car, you can't put, you know, the lowest gas in. You have to put the premium gas for the car to run correctly. It's the same with our bodies. We can't expect to eat, you know, the fast food and those things and then wonder like, well, why am I feeling sluggish? Well, why am I always tired? Well, what are we eating? You know, what are you drinking? So it's sometimes, you know, even as Christians, we make it deep and it don't gotta be deep. Like you're tired because you're not eating right, and you're not, you know, you're not sleeping, you're not trying to put yourself on a sleep pattern too, because that's important for us to sleep, because our body rebuilds itself at night, right? So if we're not sleeping, giving ourselves enough hours of sleep, at least 6 to 8. 8 is on the more optimal side. But if you're not doing that, then it's like you're already putting yourself behind every day when you start. You're already putting yourself behind, if we were kind of simulating it to running a marathon. So, my whole thing is, look, take that time. I tell people like this, because a lot of people say it's too costly to work out. Now that we're in COVID, it's a little bit different because a lot of people aren't, going to the gyms anyway. But still, a lot of people still have a narrative of it's still costly to even eat right. And this is my response to people. You're gonna have to pay either way it goes. That's you just true. Have to decide if you want to pay for it on the front end or the back end. Because you may pay a little bit more to eat right now, you may pay a little bit more to work out, but I guarantee you that, if you decide to take that time, energy, money, focus, and do it now, then on the back end, later on in life, you put yourself at a greater chance to not have to deal with preventable diseases, high blood pressure, things of those nature. So you just have to make a decision if you're going to pay on the front or the back. And that's what I tell people. If you say, I don't want to do it now, okay, so then on the back end, just know you may possibly be putting yourself at a higher risk for, hospitalizations, preventable diseases, chronic, heart disease, and all of those things. So that's kind of how I feel about all of it.
That is so good. That is so good. I wanted to ask Ms. Kodi to give our listeners and viewers a little more information about Laurel Faith Foundation.
Okay, so the Laurel Faith Foundation was started because my daughter was born with some genetic chromosomal issues. And so she had chronic things. She had tracheomalacia. She had complex seizures. Sometimes she would have 50 seizures a day. Sometimes she had no seizures at all. She had 3 holes in her heart that God healed. She had a peg to a trach. Just multiple medical issues. So we started the foundation because faith, God gave me that it was full assurance and total healing. So my daughter was given a 99% chance to pass in utero. And if she was born, then she had a 98% chance to live 1 year. And she lived 6.5 years. So I like to tell people that, I was able to see God's ability. I was able to hold God's ability. I was able to name a miracle, in a sense. And so the foundation, every year, we raise money for another nonprofit. And so we've done Matthews Learning Libraries, Cinders Pediatrics, University Rainbows Hospital, the Ronald McDonald House, just to name a few. And these are organizations that service children who are either hospitalized, their families are in need. Laurel was not able to get life insurance because we knew in utero that there was something wrong. She was not able to get certain insurances to cover because she wasn't supposed to be able to walk, so they wouldn't cover a walker. But then there were places that said, we will, because of their nonprofit, we'll give you this. So guess what? I got to see my daughter walk. She did learn how to sit up on herself by herself. She would, I don't know if it was an army crawl or a roll, but she got into stuff, And so our goal was always to bless those who bless others. So we're always looking for an opportunity to do so. So we have 2 main events. So it's been 11 years since we've been doing the Total Healing Faith Walk. And that was having people come, no matter what your affliction is, no matter if you were walking for grief, you could be walking because you had depression, you could be walking because you were, dealing with cancer, or it could have been your child. It does not matter. It was when we all came together, and the only thing we required was that you have faith. That was it. We were believing God to do a total healing. And so it's just been amazing, the the testimonies, I could never list what we've given people and what we've raised, because that is such a small amount to the testimonies that have come out of it, from children coming and then their parents calling like, yeah, we've been on a transplant list for 5 years. I know that was the main prayer. We got a call. The one baby had 2 livers. She was like, wait, what? You got 2, And so those have been the driving force with the foundation. And then the second event is happened after she passed, and it's called Laurel's Gift Drive. And gift was Grace in Faithful Times. And that's when we get gifts during November. She passed November 23rd. So we get gather gifts from November to December. We give them to rainbow babies and children. For children that are hospitalized, we have been recipients and blessings. It is difficult to be hospitalized with your child, especially during the holiday season. So that's a little bit about what the foundation is, but more so, I just believe it's just ministry. Everybody that's attached to it, it's ministry, whether they come every year to a walk or they don't, whether they give or they don't. We're not counting that. We're just counting blessings and prayers. That's what it is. So that's a little bit of that story.
And that's definitely such a blessing. When I see, the posts and everything, when you are doing things, I think about the selfless act of it, because it's easy to sit in and say, well, I'm still dealing with it. I'm going to, woe is me right now in my family. And to be selfless to help others in what you're going through in pain and healing. And so I had a question for both of you all, and ladies, if you all want to answer also, what is healing in your opinion? We can't put just one title on it because it's different for everyone. So I would like for you all to share what is healing, because I look at it and I'm sure that in blessing others, it's not only therapeutic, but it has to help in the process too. But I'm sure you have those moments where you're like, you know what, I'm the mom and today I'm just sad,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can tell you, Summer knows very clearly, like she said she's a health coach. Trust me, she is on it. Because I didn't try to do her little exercise. She like, you can't even drink water consistently. So yeah, she's who she is. But this year was 5 years since Laurel passed. And I did take a moment and say, you know what? I want to give myself room to do nothing. I'm going to wake up in the morning and see how I feel and not feel guilty about it. What I do know when it comes to grief is not always just the loss of a person. When I did go to initial counseling, what I realized is that I was grieving the fact that my daughter would, whether she lived or not, she wasn't walking to prom. She was not gonna call me mommy. Like there were other things that we grieve. And so I think stepping outside, because I'm not saying it's, and honestly, I've done a lot of self-reflection because there's a lot more to my life. And I decided not to bury my feelings with her. I decided to just deal with every day and what that brings. I journal, I talk about it, but I think that I'm to the point where I don't have a set way that it should go, and I think that many times we're trying to follow someone else's standard or how someone says you should feel no matter what you're going through. I tell people, just, a little side note, people say, can you talk to my friend? They lost their child. And I said, I will pray for your friend. I will listen to your friend, but I don't know what it's like to lose their child.
That part right there, that's amazing.
I only know what it's like to lose Laurel.
Right.
And I think more people need to catch that because, and sorry to cut you off, because we get locked in on what we think it should look like, what TV or a movie or my girlfriend or my mom, they dealt with it like this. So maybe I should deal with, where you stop and say, wait, how do I feel? How does it look for me? And, I think that's why I asked the question, what is it healing like in you all's opinion and whatever situation you're going through? Because it is not the same for everybody.
That's
And
right.
that's a good point people miss. I love
I
that
think
you
that
said
you
that.
just got to look at healing like a process. God says that he is living waters. And when you think about a stream, it's not stagnant. It keeps moving.
Yes.
So when I look at my healing, my growth, my mindset, my disposition, my stance, it is a stream. It is constantly flowing. I need it to be fresh water. I need it to not be stagnant. I am not a puddle. I am not a place where things will grow and infest. I am a stream. So I have to allow myself to go through the rocks, go through the streaming, and know that it is a constant process. So being honest in the fact that I am not arrived, but I am one day arriving, is a place of freedom and release that I am always going to stay in a state of healing in every aspect of a woman. And I know that kind of sounds weird, probably Christian ways, and say like, I am healed. I'm not stating, that somebody shouldn't say if they were dealing with cancer or something, I am healed. I believe in saying I am healed, but I also believe in the fact that he's a gift to me every day.
Yes.
So I might heal differently today than I healed tomorrow, and I'm good with that.
Yes. For me, it's a spiritual thing and a practical thing. I think
Yeah.
you've covered both.
Yeah.
Cover both of them. Yeah.
I think we gotta stop this. I hear it sometimes, and I think now being a person in grief, I've heard someone say, I lost my mom, and this person was having a difficult day. They had lost their mom it's been like 25 years. And someone says, I know how you feel. I lost my mom too. And I'm thinking, but see, you didn't know her story. Like her mom was everything. She was pregnant. She had to do CPR on her mother. She was a young girl. You don't know what mom is to her. Everybody's mom ain't they everything.
Right.
So you don't know what it feels like. And it's okay to not know what it feels like. And that is, Summer, you can jump in. I think that's the beauty in our friendship. We have gone through similar things and we still say, but how do you feel about it?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think Kodi, you actually put it perfectly. I really feel the same way when it comes to healing, about it being a process. And I just think it's so important to give yourself grace, to give yourself grace. Oftentimes we tend to not do that with our own selves and just say, okay, I am here, and just to take it one day at a time. That's something I've had to learn in my own grief and my own healing. It doesn't happen overnight. And it would be nice if it did, but you know what? If it did, then we would not develop the faith and fortitude that comes from healing, being that process. So I would just say to just really give yourself some grace.
That's good.
I think those are perfect answers, and it makes me, and y'all know I'm question after question. So my ladies, if y'all have anything y'all want to jump in before I ask the next question,
I am learning so much. I just love these ladies. I just love them.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Love you too.
Yes.
Now, Kodi, I gotta say too, from the start, from me coming back to Cleveland after 25 years, and just even in my walk, and then even my loss and my grief and all of that, but how God has divinely connected me to you through other divine connections and friends that I have had for years. But I wanted to touch on one particular, when I first saw you, you had came to speak at a Women's Day conference that we had at Everlasting Baptist Church. That's the church I started with when I came back. And I was going through a tough time. It was a breakup that I thought he was going to be my husband. He wasn't my husband, but you came right on time. I needed to hear a word from God, and I needed to hear it from a woman, but you spoke some things into me, and you just helped me really get through that process. So it was the beginning of the grief and going through the whole breakup and everything that a breakup comes with. And then after the breakup, I had told Val, our mutual friend, I said, where is Kodi? what church does she go to? I need to hear a word from her. And so Val, she did the research, and so she said, I know where she is. We're going to her church. And we went there. And then it was something else poured and deposited into me. And it really helped me during just a really troubling time with everything else that was going on. So I was just like, I thank you. I say, I thank you, Lord. I thank you that you put these women in this circle, and you keep making the circle bigger, and these divine connections and what you're doing, even in this season. So I just say, you're so many things to so many people. I bring your name up. They say, oh, I know Kodi for this one and that one and this one. But it's just everything God has deposited down into you, and then you allowing God just consume you and to help you through. But you are such a powerful, in the present person for someone else. And so just amazing. So with that being said, this is a question for both of you. What is the best quality that you love about your best friend?
Summer, you gonna go first?
My gosh, Katrina, that's an amazing question. There's two people that I know I could write a full book about. One is my father, and actually Kodi is the second one. I have to echo what you said, that Kodi is loved by so many.
Yeah.
A very humble, genuine heart. Will give you literally the shirt off her back, literally, like really will. People kind of throw around that term to describe a person, but really, truly, Kodi will. I have seen her give, and I don't want to go into that so much, but Kodi will give out of her last. And I just love her so much. I'm so grateful for her. But one of my favorite, I have many, but if I have to choose one, Kodi is so funny. Like, it could be the most horrible situation, and she will be able to find humor in it. And when we go back to talking about healing, part of healing, I believe, is being able to laugh. And throughout our whole friendship, no matter what we have gone through. And this is the thing about Kodi. Kodi is like, I told her that I just want her to, before we leave this earth, for her to do like a stand-up comedy club.
I'm sitting in the front row.
She would do so good.
But Summer, I can see that. I can see her being funny just with my first time meeting her. Like, you say something, she like,
thank you.
And girl, look at her face.
It's effortlessly. And I just told her, like, if you would just humor me and just do it one time, I promise I would get people to come, and I would, So we gonna
Summer,
work
let's
on
work on that together. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm coming. I'm there.
I'll sell some tickets.
Okay.
I will too.
We got people coming to the comedy jam. Yeah, that's one of my favorite qualities is Kodi is hilariously funny and always, honestly, we have been friends for all this long, and almost every conversation, and we talk every day, almost every conversation we have, Kodi says something that makes me laugh. And she don't even be trying, but it just makes me laugh. So my heart is so full when I get off the phone with her. You know how some people, when you talk to, you feel drained?
Yes.
I never feel that way with Kodi. Even if she's going through and she may be expressing something to me, she doesn't pull from me in a sense to where I feel like she just completely just depletes me, because she pours so much into me. So at times that she's going through, I don't never feel like she's leaving me on empty, if that makes sense. So I can go on and on about that beautiful, phenomenal woman that I call my best friend. But I would have to say that that's the main thing.
That is
I
awesome.
think my favorite quality of Summer is that she thinks I'm funny. But no. No, my favorite, quality. And I got so many, because you guys just do not know. Like, she is like, people say a triple threat. She is just like, she is really the bomb, and she does not know how awesome she is. That's my girl. But the thing about Summer is she is so diligent. Like if Summer says she's gonna do something,
Yes.
she's gonna do it. Literally, Summer to me is integrity.
That's good.
That's who she is. If Summer said that she did 100 push-ups, she did 100 push-ups.
Yes.
If I said I did 100 push-ups, I might be talking since we known each other. You gotta specify with me, okay? Because I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, but I do need some type of frame of reference. Okay. So I love that about her because she just is so, she's so regiment. She just does it. Like if she puts her mind to it, she's gonna do it. We went, this is me. I was grieving, y'all. I was grieving hard. It was right after Laurel died. I said, girl, we got to do this walk, So we were going to do this walk. It was like was it a turkey trot or something?
Yeah, the turkey trot.
Mm-hmm. Now, I had not been trotting or travailing. Okay, why did I think I was going to be doing this, right? So I said, I'm going to take Summer with me. She comes in a little workout gear. I done found some stretched out stretch pants for one of my kids. I didn't got no tennis shoes, okay? So we're going, and we got it. Don't worry. She's just praying, and this is just her compassion. She's reaching over. You okay? Just keep going. I'm crying. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm crying. I am grieving, but I'm crying because I don't see the finish line. I'm confused on what's happening. Like, what turkey trot this far? You know what I'm saying? So now what she did is she didn't leave me.
Yes.
When fitness and finishing is so important to her,
yes.
She didn't leave me. She stayed with me as slow as I was going. Y'all, I'm trying to tell you, it was people who was walking, Moses, Joseph. People passing us by. Like, I said, this thing is depressing, but I can't go no further. Right. I just can't, So her ability to have that integrity, that what she says she's going to do, it's a promise to God, it's a promise to herself, and she finishes it. And so she inspires me, she inspires me because that's a place where I struggle, but I have a living example of what it looks like to say it, do it, and finish it. And I love that about her. I love that about her because I can trust her word. I can trust that she's going to get it done. And she has been like that our whole friendship, when we would do tests and get, do projects, she's like, Kodi, did you finish this part? It's due in like 2 months. Did you do this part? I'm thinking about it. I'm going to get it done. What is going on? Like, what is all of this checking it off? I'm thinking about it. I got to think, I got to meditate on it. I'm going to put it down. It's all about feelings for me. But she doesn't have to.
Right.
She's that person at Starbucks setting it up because she has to write 2 pages today. Girl, I might change my whole mind, my whole mind. So I would just say that that integrity and who she is why she's so effective as a life coach. She is a woman that if she holds you accountable, you better know that her whole life she's been holding herself accountable first. She holds herself accountable to God and to herself. And that is not a quality a lot of people hold. Yeah. But I can tell you one thing, if you want to see God's accountability in human form, you need a Summer Haggins in your life.
Aww, I love you, bestie.
That makes for
just love y'all. Y'all just touched my whole soul, my whole life. I'm healed through laughter. I am just overwhelmed today. You ladies are amazing. Hands down.
And you know what, too? I wish we had more time, but that little hour just went by so fast. It's time for the word of encouragement.
Yes.
Oh, yes. So, Miss Sister Adrian, We're gonna start with you. We'll leave our viewers and our listeners a word of encouragement.
If I can leave you with anything, and I'm going to say this until it's all said and done, stay safe, wear your mask.
Yes.
Laughter is everything. Heal.
Yes.
Be a
Yes.
woman or man of integrity. Say it, do it, and finish it.
Yes, that's good. That's
That's
good.
good.
And then we're gonna jump over to Miss Kodi.
First of all, this was great. Okay. But to all of you and to the visitors, I would just say God is a divine connector.
Yes, he is.
And even if you find yourself connected to someone and they're in a process that maybe you finished, don't judge your chapter 2 by somebody's chapter 40.
That right there.
I like to tell people all the time, I may not know your story, but I know your author. And so that means that nobody's counted out. Just, sometimes we're in relationships and it's like, well, why am I still here? Pray to God. He is a divine connector. You never know. Every friendship is not about you receiving. Sometimes you will be the better friend than you have at that point. But at the end of the day, it's about you being able to look into the mirror and know that you did what God had for you to do. Jesus, he healed people. And sometimes they didn't even come and say thank you.
That's good.
So if we're his children and his ambassador, how do you get hung up because someone didn't say thank you?
Ooh,
the question is, did God tell you to do it? Then yes. Then take your obedience as thank you.
Oh, that's so good. That's a nugget right there. Miss Sherilyn?
I would just like to leave the people with understand that we are all persons in progress, and that I'm going to just say you never really arrive because each season brings something different. And like my pastor said, one day you're going to get on the cross and bear it and it's going to go away. But guess what? It's another one up the way.
Mm-hmm.
So we are continuing, and give yourself grace and understand that we are people in progress that are constantly evolving. So give yourself some grace as you continue to evolve. And if you are alive another day to go through it, thank the Lord because you still have purpose.
Amen. Amen. And Miss Summer?
I just would say maximize your moment. Live in the moment of where you are. I think it's obviously we should plan ahead, but sometimes we miss right in our present moment because we're so focused on what's next. Thank God for your moment, where you're at right now, and just seek him about what you should be doing in that moment. And sometimes that's just as simple as sitting up there doing homework with your kids, especially during this coronavirus, or just different things. But really just be grateful for the moment that you're in right now. Be grateful to God for that.
Amen. Amen. Oh, this is so good. I just want to leave the viewers and the listeners with as well. It's year ending. We just have a few more weeks in this year. Christmas is just a couple of days away. And I just want to remind folks, in the spirit of giving and gifts and all of that, the true present is the presence of God. So just sit in his presence, allow him to work on you and consume you until this year is closing. So for first and foremost, because none of us know if we're going to make it to the other side, but in just taking a moment, live in the presence. Don't worry about tomorrow, but just take day by day, minute by minute, and just keep your focus on him with everything else that's going on in the world. But ladies, I thank you and I love you so much. Thank you for just coming on the show. This has been just everything.
It's a divine connection.